So we've left Puerto Lopez in the Manabí province. We've headed an hour south down to Olón. It's just outside of Montañita, and this small village, it's also really popular with tourists who either want to party in Montañita during the day and have somewhere to sleep at night, or maybe they're like us and they want to have a more chill beach experience. We also know a couple of people here in Olón, and we're gonna visit them while we're here. Morning until 12 p.m. the fish market in Olón is open, and it is called the Caraway of Olón, and that is because in Guayaquil there's Avenida Caraway. It is the location of the most famous fish market. This place is bustling. There's a handful of fish vendors here. They have actually something I haven't seen before. They actually had shrimp that was from the shrimp farms, but also sea shrimp. They're only 50 cents more per pound. They've got camotillo, they've got tons of different fish. And behind them are a set of comedores. So at these comedores, we actually discovered a dish I've never seen before. It's called picante de pescado, and that means spicy fish. But it's not that whatsoever. It's more like, I would say like a fish salad. So in this, we have some atún, some tuna. We've got some red onions, some herbs, and then also some yuca. You guys know I love yuca. It's served with rice, and then also because we're in Ecuador, you have to have two starches. It's also served with patacones. Now, I saw some bottled ají on the table, and you know how disappointing bottled ají is. But then they showed up with this. This is encurtido. Now, encurtido is basically like a pickled vegetable dish. I can see onion, carrot, some green herbs, and then also some pepper. It's a warm dish, but also very fresh. That onion gives it tons of brightness. It's really good. It's got fresh fish in it, onion, these fresh herbs. So instead of a potato salad, you have like this yuca starch. You've got the fish with it, some onion. Now the encurtido I'm gonna try on its own because the last one I had was really spicy, and we're on the coast. The coast is spicier. It's spicy. Now, as I said, this picante de pescado I've never seen anywhere else. We've traveled the coast twice, starting in Esmeraldas, and no one has offered us this dish. Also at this market, if you're not looking for fish, they also had liver and then beef. So very diverse here. But let me tell you, you want to try this. Picante de pescado. Yum. Alright, so we've just decided to embrace, it's Sunday, holiday weekend, it's Sunday, fun day. So we are having a noon hour cocktail. We stopped off at Cocteleria Oasis and looked at the menu. They've got lots of great drinks. I always get aguardiente cocktails, especially when you're by Manabí. So even though we're not in the Manabí province, they have Caña Manabito, which is considered the best aguardiente in all of Ecuador. And as soon as we got to the bar, Andrea said to them, "Oh, do you have any promotions on right now?" And they do. It wasn't on the menu, but they were offering $5 cocktails. You could get 2 for $7. But we wanted to have a caipirinha with aguardiente, and these are only $4. So he said to them, 2 for $8, will you take 6? And it looks like they would. So she was also telling us that all weekend it has been so busy. So today, even though for us, we think that this beach looks busy for Olón, they were packed over the holiday weekend. So that's great for tourism, great for this town, and great for us that we came on a Sunday and most people have left. So first impressions of Olón. You know, it's actually been a surprise for us. I don't think we came in expecting that we would really enjoy it. We thought it would just be an extension really of Montanita, but there's something really special here. It's very clean, there's lots of artwork, people here are very friendly, and it feels like there was some sort of planning and thought that went into its growth. So things are orderly and it's just really nice. So while I thought Olón would be the place that, you go to Montanita during the day and you sleep here at night, I can see why this place is so busy and actually people are choosing to spend the day here and the night. The shrimp spaghetti, which actually is fettuccine, I think, or linguine. There's some ketchup on top. It actually looks like it's a small shrimp, but might be good. Interesting texture. Let's try the pasta. Okay. Not the best, not the worst. You kind of take a risk when you eat on the beach. We prefer huecas just because if you don't like the food, then you've only spent a couple bucks. Here, this plate is $10. I don't know if I'd buy it again, but you know what? We're hungry. There's some fresh air. It's the beach, so good lesson for us. For $10, I expected something better. They said this is the house specialty. It's a lot of pasta, not a lot of shrimp. The pasta is a little overcooked, the shrimp's a little bit overcooked. But you can't win them all, so we're just gonna have to go with it. It is a big portion though, I'll give them that. All right, so there's some fantastic food here in Olón, some traditional food, some fantastic seafood, but there are also some really cool businesses. And so right now I'm at Hannah Coffee and Brunch. This is a spot where if you just want to have an iced coffee, if you want to have a nice latte, if you want to have a fancy drink, you can have it here. It's beautiful, it's stunning. And it's also 3 businesses in one. So at lunchtime, it turns over from a coffee and brunch place to then a Malay and Thai spot. And then in the evening, they've got sushi. So fantastic decor, local businesses, also some really interesting food here. Now this is what they call cheesecake. I don't know what the flavor is, but go from the bottom to the top. Wow, it's orangey cheesecake and creamy and amazing. I don't know what flavor it is, but it's really, really good. Anyway, you can get lots of different things here. Open breakfast through the night for sushi. This I think is a must spot, and also if you're a digital nomad or you need to do a little bit of computer work, this is a really great spot to work as well. All right, look who I just found on the beach at Taka Taka.
Welcome to Olón.
Shane and Tanya on the beach at Taka Taka. Now, isn't this the experience? Oh, wait, and it's Andres. All right, guys, kind of takes that one. We've been hanging out with them for a while, but we're gonna have another drink at their favorite bar on the beach in Olón. All right, so Shane and Tanya told me about this. This is called Nuna. So it is a Colombian who is now living in Ecuador with his girlfriend from Guayaquil, and they started this healthy food business. It's made out of maduro, plantain, a variety of different flavors. They've got guayaba, they've got cafe, they've got mani, peanut, banana, cafe, almonds.
Yeah.
We're gonna try it. It looks good. So he sells this on the beach here in Olón as well as Montanita. It's like if you added coffee to like a banana bread brownie. It's really good. Everything here all natural, He is a hustler. He has this huge spiel, working hard on the beaches. Also, if you want to buy something bigger, he's got this spoon that they make out of paper. Like, such a brilliant entrepreneur. This was $1.50. If you see this guy, wave him over, have a chat, buy something from him. I think the spoon is for when you buy the bigger stuff, like a pie.
Oh, you're right.
You can use your fingers for that.
Yeah, I want to fancy.
We were foolish enough to show up in Alon on a holiday weekend, but Shane and Tanya are so nice, they offered us a room at their house, so we stayed there.
Welcome to Alone.
And then after a few caipirinhas, we moved on to Montanita. One end of the beach, they have a restaurant with sushi. I haven't had sushi in so long, it was fantastic. And then also watched a surfing competition at sunset. It was fantastic.
It's 8 a.m. and the cabanas aren't open yet, but we are back at the beach. And that's because Tanya runs beach yoga Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays at 8 a.m. I haven't done yoga in so long, so this is gonna be fun. Alright, so right across from the fish market is Comedor Pajarito, which means birdie's spot. This is probably the most popular spot to have a local breakfast here. It's right next to the taxi stand. It's not even 9 a.m. and this place is packed. They're doing tons of takeout. People are eating here. It is known to have the best encebollado in Olón, probably in the region. Encebollado is a traditional breakfast soup. It is made out of tuna, onion, really rich, intense broth. It always has these fresh greens on top. It's also known as a hangover cure. When you get encebollado, you also get a bunch of chifles. So these are fried chips. Now, when you get them, the first thing you need to do in the bag is this. Get those chips ready because we're gonna put them on the soup. But first, we're gonna try the soup on its own. So I can already tell looking at this broth, it looks so rich. Also some yuca on the bottom, which is always a good sign. Let's try the broth. The key to a good encebollado is, one, you have to have fresh fish. It should be albacore tuna, although in places like the Sierra and Cuenca, they make it with catfish, which is exactly why I don't eat it anywhere but the coast. But then also, you really need to have such a rich broth. Now the reason why I always eat it on the coast is you're guaranteed you're going to have great encebollado because the fish is fresh. If it has a really strong flavor, that's a bad sign. It's not fresh. And then, when you get encebollado, they will usually give you either a squirt bottle with lime juice or actually fresh limes and you can squeeze it in yourself. That makes it even better. And now we have a fully dressed encebollado. We put some lime into it, some ají into it, the plantains are in it. And now it's perfect. I can see why people think This is the best encebollado in Alone. All right, this spot is so popular. You have to get here while the food is here because they start at 6 a.m. and they go until the food is sold out. So that could be 10 a.m., that could be 1 p.m., you don't know. If you're not a big fan of encebollado, they also have other dishes. So they have huatzita, which is pork tripe in a peanut sauce. It comes with some spaghetti, and I think it also came with some rice. It looked amazing. They also have seco de pollo, and then they also have the picante that I tried across the street. It's right in front of a grocery store, like a produce store. So people in Alone come here to get all of their produce. They have everything you could possibly need, including apples, which don't grow in Ecuador.
Join my Patreon community for more behind the scenes and exclusive content you won't find elsewhere. You can also find me on Instagram, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. All of these things make my day. Thank you so much for your support.